Hey, welcome to PGF Racing. Today I want to talk to you about a major blunder that 99.9%, 100% as far as I know, I'm the only one that I've seen that sees this differently. I wasn't the one that found it or be credited for it. I found it on Wikipedia on a side article, but it makes great sense. And so, what is this blunder? Let's take a quick look at it. Here you have the Persian king Cyrus the Great to Darius the Second. Now, Cyrus the Great gives the commandment to uh, rebuild and restore Jerusalem, rebuild the temple. Okay, so then I want you to notice that Artaxerxes comes after Darius the First, after Cyrus the Great. So the important thing to remember here to find this blunder is that Artaxerxes comes after Darius the First and after Cyrus the Great. So let's look at what's going on here. So Cyrus, the king of Persia, says, "The Lord is the God of heaven. He has given me all the kingdoms on the earth. He has appointed me to build a temple for him at Jerusalem." So this is the first commandment, Jerusalem and Judah. So this is the first commandment and the first order. And then in verse 3, any one of his people among you can go up to Jerusalem, and may your God be with you. You can build the Lord's temple. He is the God of Israel. He is the God who is in Jerusalem. So here we clearly see Cyrus gives the order. Then comes Artaxerxes in Ezra 4 and says, "The copy of the letter of the king Artaxerxes was read to Rehum and the secretary and Shimshai. It was also read their friends. Right away they went to the Jews in Jerusalem. They forced them to stop their work." Verse 24, "And so the work on the house of God, or the temple, in Jerusalem came to an end. Nothing more was done on it until the second year that Darius was king of Persia." So let's look at the count here. So Artaxerxes gives the order to stop, and nothing's done till the second year of Darius. Now, 100% of Bible commentators put this as Darius first, but that'd be impossible because Artaxerxes gives the order to stop until Darius. So the only Darius it could be talking about is Darius the second. So let's go back to the Bible. So in Ezra 6, so the temple was completed on the third day of the month of Adar. It was the 6th year that Darius was king. So here we have Darius the second. It begins 423, 404. So now we know the correct Darius compared to Bible commentators that say it's this Darius. So the temple was completed the 6th year of Darius the second. We just read that in the 6th year. So now we saw that Darius began in 423 BC. 6 years later, it would be 417 that the temple is completed. So let's go back to the Bible. In Daniel 9:25, here's what I want you to know and understand. There will be 7 weeks, then there will be 62 weeks. So that's 483 years. The 7 weeks will begin when the order is given to rebuild Jerusalem and make it like new again. Everyone forgets that part, and make it like new again. So at the end of the 62 weeks, the anointed king will come. So who's that? If you saw my previous video, I believe that's Nero, and I'll show that here. Jerusalem will have streets and a war system, or a water system, when it is rebuilt, but that will be done in times of trouble. So let's go back to and make it like new again. So it was completed like new again. So now we start our 483 year count, and we just go down here and we work our way. And these are the BC years. And we're just going to work our way down to 483. We'll speed it up here a little bit. So we're still in BC years. Now we're getting into AD years. $483. So this would have been 67 AD. Then what happens in 67 AD? The war starts in March of 67 AD. Here's a closer breakdown. Then 1260 days later, in August of 70 AD, the temple is destroyed, 3.5 years. And in the midst of that week, the sacrifices come to an end. And then 1260 more days, the war comes to end in 74. A total of 490 years. No gap. It's all talking about the second coming in Daniel 9. It's not talking about Jesus is coming. And if you see my previous video, you'll see that it's talking about an anointed King Nero, not Jesus. So I hope this helps make sense and something to think about. I don't necessarily expect you to change your mind, but at least take it under consideration and see that it's a major blunder by all commentators. As always, love you lots. PJF Racing out. Have a great day.